the German and Philippine technical cooperation can look back to a very successful and good 40-year phase of implementation. This program, what we are supporting here in Negros, is a part of the Environment and Rural Development Program, and environmental concerns are at the moment actually the major part of German-Philippine development cooperation. The reason for this is, of course, your unique biodiversity, but on the other hand, we also talk about rural development, and biodiversity and environmental protection plays a key role if it comes to nutrition and employment.
German Technical Cooperation is one of the strong partners of the province of Negros Occidental in their environmental programs, especially for biodiversity conservation and climate change mitigation. One of the activities that we've been promoting in the province is strong support for biodiversity conservation through education, empowering the local government units, and this year we're quite happy that we are sponsoring the International Biodiversity Day. We give activities to the different LGU alliances in Negros Occidental, and one of the activities right now is youth camps in Danugan Island, Kawayan.
Why this all is connected? This is IBT 2010. It's actually many years ago during a convention. It was decided that there must be more involvement of people, and this started actually in Germany. And so one of the plans was to involve school classes, students, and match them with an expert in one of the fields. It started with birding, with ornithologists. Those are really well organized, and they went out for one special day in the year to record all the species they could find. And this idea was transformed and transferred now to many countries in the world. And now we do that in this way, the first time in the Philippines. And we're very happy that we can participate in this day and that we can support that.
Was declared by the United Nations to be the International Year of Biodiversity. This year's theme for the International Biodiversity Day is Biodiversity and Development. So we're not only trying to raise public awareness about biodiversity, but also about development. The IBD organizers for Negros Occidental decided to hold a whole menu of activities for the IBD, leading towards the IBD, a big chunk of which are the marine and terrestrial and the forest camps for both youth and adults. So we have environmental camps, there will be 7 of them, and then apart from that we have an exhibit, a photo exhibit and a book launch, a children's book launch entitled Where is My Home, translated in the local dialect. And we have an exhibit of all these biodiversity conservation efforts done all over the country and even here in Negros Occidental. And then that will be running for 1 week. And then to culminate everything, on the International Biodiversity Day itself, which is May 22, we will be holding various activities, which will be started by a foot parade in the morning, and then a short program after that. And then after that, what starts is the canvas painting contest, which is open to hobbyists, enthusiasts, and professional artists, and even kids. And then after that we have an evening concert, which is more like a variety show actually, because we have bands, we have performers from schools, and a special number from the Belfast. It's also a biodiversity hotspot for the Philippines alone because we have a good mixture of marine and terrestrial ecosystems, and Negros Island is home to a lot of the world's endangered species, and a lot of them are Western Visayan endemic. So we have species such as the Philippine spotted deer, the Visayan warty-pig, the bleeding heart pigeon, and the taripik hornbill. So we have these species which are very rare and can only be found here in Negros Island. We have 26 species of cetaceans plus one subspecies just in one country, and in Southeast Asia we're second to Indonesia. Indonesia has 31 species of 30 species of marine mammals, and in the Coral Triangle there's a total of 31 species, and Philippines has 26 of those. So the Philippines has a very diverse ecosystem that provides home to a very diverse cetacean fauna. If there is or a high in biodiversity or rich biodiversity in an area is an indicator of the health of that particular area. So if there are more species, then that shows that that area, terrestrial or aquatic, is still healthy. Climate change is becoming a bigger threat than everyone thought on biodiversity, especially for animals that live on rivers. Right now, the most threatened ecosystem are the freshwater ecosystems, rivers, and in terms of marine mammals, the estuarine and coastal species are in danger of being extirpated. And example against the Irrawaddy dolphin, which we have just recently found in Guimaras and also in Guimaras Strait and in Iloilo Strait. The tropics, because of temperature, have the highest biodiversity, but it is also in the tropics where loss is fastest. For remaining natural ecosystems, we should preserve and conserve it. Preserve means no touch. For the really pristine areas that we will need for scientific study, you know what the species are, then there should be no touch for humans, just research. But also you could conserve, meaning you can touch the natural ecosystem, but in a very sustainable way. We are the mega diversity of tropical forest species in the world. Our dipterocarps are next to none.
Its role in biodiversity conservation has been established when we first discussed the concept of the marine protected area here in Danugan. We don't only have one sanctuary. The Danugan Island Marine Reserve and Sanctuary has three special management zones, as it was called then. We prefer them to call it that way too, but then actually it's just 3 sanctuaries, no take zones, 3. 72 genera of corals, which is very similar to the Great Barrier Reef, which is much longer in length and size.
As we heard that the IBD 2010 will be in the Philippines, and especially then on Negros, we thought directly about Danhugen as a top site for that. We're really delighted that everything was possible thanks to coordinator Terence, and I'm also glad that somehow this will be a connection, a direct connection between Germany and the Philippines forever. This learning center we also established actually from funds from the Ministry for Environment, especially to support biodiversity. And so it's wonderful now that we can have so many activities here, and really thanks to the GTZ. And Danhugen already was my favorite place here in Southern Negros during the first months I arrived 5 years ago. And it's one of the most diverse places you have still in Negros, that is so densely populated. But yeah, on the unpopulated Danhugen you still have a little bit a glance of the original biodiversity we had in this area.
Yeah, it's important to teach kids about the importance of forest and why, especially in the Philippines, the forest is needed, and why or tell them first of all that it's endangered, especially here in Negros. And we have only like 5% forest cover left, and yeah, kids should understand the importance of forest.
For one, they are the ones who are here in the forest. So at a very early stage, they are the ones who utilize what's inside the forest. So they have to know the importance of these resources. Otherwise, they would just view these resources as infinite.
Yeah, Patak is a good place to hold the forest camp because yeah, you have the forest right at the back here. You can bring kids there and not only have the theory like in the classroom something and tell them something, but you can really kids bring in the forest so that they can see what you were talking about. Biodiversity, yeah, it's important that for kids to know, though it's difficult to understand for kids first of all what is biodiversity about, but it's important that they know that they are, especially in the Philippines, that they are somehow in a blessed country with a lot of species, different tree species, animals and so on.
NNP, or North Negros Natural Park, is the largest tract of forest remaining for dito sa entire Negros. And they're very lucky to be here, part of the celebration, na and they need to be aware na, hey, damo, pagali diri sang mga very unique species na makitaan sa Negros na in the past, siguro hindi nila nakikita, pero for now, at least they're aware that this biodiversity needs to be conserved or preserved. What's in here na they should appreciate, because without appreciation, they cannot do any conservation in the end.
For the marine education, our most popular program, and so I think that it's one of the best, is the Junior Missing Drive program, wherein we try and encourage the children to appreciate their marine environment by becoming junior guides for the museum. This way, they get to learn two things at the same time. Not only about the environment, but it teaches them self-confidence, and they learn other aspects about our culture as well in the process.
At first we give lectures about coral reefs, biodiversity, fishes, marine mammals, and then we let them apply what they've learned, like giving them activities like doing marine mangrove planting, doing the snorkeling, exposing them to true nature.
Snorkel. So we take it for granted that they were all living in the coastline, but it had actually been their first time to actually go into the water and look at the biodiversity under the surface. So I think that was a very well appreciated lesson. The awareness on biodiversity was raised not only through the activities that we carried out, but also during the preparation, because all the organization was participated in by different groups. We had the local government units, we had private companies, we had non-government organizations, we had schools, all participate in the biodiversity.
It's important to tell to the people that we have to strike a balance between the different values of the forest. We cannot focus only on biodiversity, but we can also not focus only on the economics of the forest, so we have to combine the different aspects.
I believe that there is hope that we could actually do something to help preserve the biodiversity that we have here in the Philippines. And so it's through these activities that we hope we reached our goal of raising public awareness, not only of the general public all the way to our campers, but we hope that ultimately our message comes across up to the decision maker level.
We hope that we can transfer a little bit of our enthusiasm about biodiversity and the value of biodiversity, that we can transfer this as a message to the kids who are our future also, and who hopefully will memorize these forever and will change their behavior to conserve the remaining biodiversity we have.
Thank you.